Welcome to another edition of XFeed. My name is Schiller. I've been talking ever since the days of Top Shot, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and all this crazy stuff we try to be early in and bring to your attention. Today, we're going to be talking about the craziness that happened within Bitcoin. Everything is mooning, and I'm starting to see the shift in sentiment amongst the NFT communities, amongst the altcoin communities, and I mean, to be honest, if you've been in the space long enough, you realize that the big dogs move first. They'll move violently. And then once they kind of slow down just a little bit, then everything else flushes down to the other assets. It's always kind of Bitcoin, alts, NFTs. That's the pattern. Do we continue with this cycle? I don't know. We'll see. But extreme greed on the charts. If you check it out, we're up to 80 here. I've seen some people already calling for a flash crash, which kind of happened within Bitcoin today. It rocketed and then came back down, and then it's now going back up again. And I mean, I don't know. When we look at these things, what do we think? Is this time different? Because I saw another person that was posting and I commented on it saying, they were thinking, hey, we could go all the way down to 30K. And it's like, okay, dude, I mean, listen, anything is possible, but if they're correct with these institutions and the ETFs that are buying, if there's actually this big shift of people wanting to buy into this, the awkward part with all of it is we're now straying away from the idea that the dollar is going to get replaced by Bitcoin or whatever crypto, right? Like, it feels like all of a sudden with these institutions, it's like, oh, they're buying it simply as an asset. It's not necessarily as a fight against that dollar, except that's kind of the original notion that was for, at least I thought. A lot of the projects you will see on Blast Day 1 are forks. The smart contracts are not written by the developers that are deploying them. It's highly likely that they have a very low understanding of the code base. We'll probably see lots of obvious exploits, wassies. So again, Blast is going to launch and everything's going to go crazy, but just realize there's probably a lot of things that are going to go extremely poorly within that. Now, over the Christmas break, we saw two companies or collections offer equity to their holders, and we're seeing that happen again here within the Truth team, who did Goblin Town. Operation Resurrection begins now. We are introducing a multi-phase initiative to give Truth NFT holders the opportunity to burn their NFTs for either future equity rights in the company or ownership in the Truth Arts IP. This is the first manifestation of our approach to Web3/NFTs going forward in the Truth ecosystem. So two kind of ways to look at this. One of them being, all right, well, you guys don't know how to do anything that's not Web 2 when you need to give equity, give out these IPs. You're going to be building something else out, and you have no idea how to give these tokens any sort of value, so you're going to go this route, right? That's one frame of it. Another frame is, okay, this is maybe a Web3 way where, hey, you got in early on something, potentially on mint day 1, paid like $100, and now there is a company that's trying to do something better, and now you're a part of it in a different way. Yay, woohoo, right? Kind of two different ways to look at it. Curious how the reaction is for different people. But White House saying here, holy shitter. Truth measures equity based on the floor value at the time you bought. If you bought gobs at the top, your value is whatever floor was at the top. This dirty floor gob gets me $4,400 in equity, much higher than current floor of $1,000 or so. And you get soulbound version of your NFT back and access to all the token gating. Win. So, okay, there we go. Listen, a little bit of insights. Sounds like that is not too shabby. And I think one of the big trends we are going to see from collections that have, I guess sustainability will be the correct term, is these things where they recognize, hey, we've had the market massively fluctuate. Is there a way that we can reward the holders that did potentially buy at a different price? Now, another collection, some people are saying maybe this is kind of Web 2-ified. Slayer Vault saying, firstly, Doodles refused to launch a token. The team says stuff like, we are not an NFT company anymore, asks holders to GTFO and floor, and doesn't even secure airdrops for its community. Tell me again, how is Doodles different from any Web 2 company? So to the point with Truth giving equity, are we seeing these collections able to integrate within Web3 a little bit more? Or is it kind of, hey, they're connected to Web3. They'll have these blockchain experiences, but really the idea is that they're going to be creating this like big mainstream brand, and there might not be a whole lot of these typical Web3 activations that are a part of the long haul here. We are honored to be selected as the winners for the Big Bang. This is IKKB, and they won the Blast L2 competition. Now, if you don't know, they are daily fantasy sports powered by crypto. It's got 23,000 followers right now. Started seeing it on my timeline a little bit more. Obviously, we're seeing gambling, sports, everything under the sun involving crypto, gambling, and just sports as a whole really take off here. So curious to see if this is going to be a big thing. I don't think there's anything they offer that's early right now, but if they do, just wanted to bring that to your attention for any sports fans out there. Scammers are bypassing Web3 security extensions. So I was terrified to do browser extensions. We'll talk about Phantom and a wallet exploit for something that happened on Solana, and apparently is happening kind of in a wave right now that's really, really freaky in a moment. But I finally decided, okay, I need to get Wallet Guard. Now this was a while ago, but I've never been happier having it, to be honest. There's things that pop up. They'll say, hey, this is a scam link. Hey, this is good. Green light things. And it's awesome. I thought there was going to be a threat of an exploit. And I talked with a few people that are more knowledgeable about it, and they were like, I think that it's safer to have it than versus not have it, where you don't have any of those warnings built in. And yo, Ray Stinger, what's going on? Bam! You love Wallet Guard, and you don't have to use Wallet Guard. I know everybody likes to do their own research, figure out what they're into. I think Join Fire is another one, but it's really handy to have. But Bo here saying, I tested 5 security tools on 2 scam sites that weren't on block lists. The goal here was to see how they detected scams that were hot off the press. 2 tools were bypassed completely and 1 partially. Check out the results. So only Wallet Guard, which is what we're talking about, and Mint Defense gave me strong warnings on each site. Pocket Universe gave me initial warnings but was bypassed when I proceeded to the transaction. Finally, Web3 Antivirus and Blockade failed to detect the scams completely. First, Blockade via MetaMask gave me this error. This request was not verified message with a weak request. May not be safe disclaimer. So again, you have these things that are a little bit smaller within the transaction, but Wallet Guard has like an entire pop-up every time you're signing things. And so again, this is just kind of your quick little security reminder regarding that. Shara highlighting more Nail Alpha. Is something coming? Some people thought this was going to be a Magic Eden partnership with Futureverse. I don't think so. We've heard Alex say that they're in talks with OpenSea to get things. I think this is probably something to do with Root or the ASM protocol for the crystals, because they're coming out with a 2.0 version. Big news, Bitcoin ordinals. Holy sheesh, talk about narratives. Breaking ordinal inscription number 2 just sold for 24.48 BTC or 1.4 million. Imagine if they held the Bitcoin on this run. Heck W. I mean, they would have been up a few $1,000s, but still, either way, that is a crazy sale and highlighting that Bitcoin ordinals potentially are here to stay. Here's the buyer for this. What is this?
The beef pot roast. Can you try it?
It's kind of rude eating in front of other people, but I figure you guys don't mind it. Yeah, it's really good.
It's good?
Mm-hmm. Nice. So Cinny's is the person who ended up buying the ordinal, saying, decided to buy inscription number 2 after seeing today's ETF inflow. So to go back, the original, we were talking about how people are thinking, oh, this might be the top and whatnot. Like, today's ETF inflows are wild. We've been trying to highlight since the beginning of this happening, all the reports, all the breakdowns. We're having the pension funds saying allocate way more to crypto. Things are moving. And I love watching Bill Noble, and he had a great piece today where he was talking about how, like, code is law or something to that effect. And he's like, no, price is law, because people pay attention to whatever price of things are. And it was kind of this breakdown, and I was like, damn, you're right. Like, people really do pay attention and agree with things and start paying attention for the prices. Most people are going to completely ignore all of this. I mean, again, most of us have been here for a while. We've already gotten in at lower prices for these things, and now it's like, okay, baby, we'll see what ends up happening. But anyway, they think that it's going to be 100 plus BTC within 2 years. So crazy heights. I don't even know if we've had that kind of sales within Ethereum NFTs. So if we think that Bitcoin is going to have much higher floors than the highest ones from Ethereum, that will be interesting. A little bit of a weird one here. I've been highlighting Nifty Island. I've enjoyed it. I have a video where I'm talking about recent airdrops that I've gotten into, and I've been playing pretty much every single day. Now, AGM is highlighting, saying, worth taking a look at. Anyone putting their Web3 avatars in Nifty Island is basically giving up control of the IP they paid for and agreeing not to duplicate it elsewhere. Nifty Island can basically do whatever they want with uploaded Kongs, fluffs, etc. in the future. Oh my goodness. So this goes back to the aspect of, do we actually own these things? Are we giving out rights when we don't really realize it? By using the service, you grant Nifty a worldwide, non-exclusive, royalty-free, perpetual, irrevocable, sub-licensable, through multiple tiers, transferable right and license to use, reproduce, publicly display, distribute, make derivative works from, and adapt the assets and or games use / submit bring to the services for the purpose of developing, distributing, providing, improving, and promoting the services end of our activity. Oh, there's still more there, but we're not going to read it all. But this goes to another point of, okay, let's say I upload one of my fluff avatars, and then they're like, you're not allowed to upload it anywhere else. Okay, that sucks. But then I sell that fluff. Does all of a sudden that mean that the person who bought it now can't do it because somebody used it before? How would they ever enforce this on anything unless it was their own platform to be able to do it? Take you to court? Do you end up making any money off of it in a different stretch? You'd probably have to reach like a threshold of profiting off of this on a different one. I mean, I don't know, right? But still something to note if you are importing avatars within Nifty. They haven't commented on it. They were added in this. As I just kind of highlighted that I got one of the Forgotten Runes Wizards Towers within there. If you guys do play, they have like some exclusive ones for certain NFTs if you have that are free from just playing. But I'm surprised Nifty Island didn't respond to that because their social person definitely saw what that was. Okay. As I've said, I'm going to try to always highlight a security scam, know what's going on there so you are informed and educated. Shank saying, woke up to seeing my wallet drained. It's my first experience in the space, and I never thought I'd witness it since I always try to be careful. It hurts. Don't know how I got hacked. Last interaction was on MarginFi, and I'm confused. My funds on Parcel, Camino, MarginFi, and that goes down. So this person says, bro, I got hit in December. It has to be the Phantom extension that brings all these troubles. They drained everything, including my drops. Another person saying they got hit. And then I think there was, yeah, so sorry. I think it's time for Phantom to clarify us about why Phantom phrases get compromised. Some of my friends have been hacked and funds lost to Phantom breaches. This is disheartening. So I don't like, if I go to this person's account, do I have any? So I have like a few people to follow. Again, this is just a random thing. This person's saying there's a social media influencer. Okay. Is this something that is legitimate? All these comments seem to be attacking Phantom. Is this some other wallet provider on Solana that's doing this attack? Is there actually a big potential compromise of Phantom wallets in the space? Because this is my first time seeing this. And if there's actually a problem where it's easy to get the seed phrases of Phantom wallets, or at least figure out what they are, I don't know why this isn't a bigger story right now. So this potentially is the first time you're hearing about it. If you see it anywhere else, feel free to tag me, send me a message. I'd love to know. Because if there is actually an exploit somehow within Phantom wallets, I mean, I think most people use that for Solana. And again, first time seeing it, so just kind of sharing my thoughts. Okay, Andy, something about Rovell tagging the FTC to snitch on a SIM swapped scam tweet is really sending me right now. So we saw Waj, the big NBA newsbreaker, who got SIM swapped, and he highlighted a fake Top Shot link. Now, it happened again to Big Cat, who works for Barstool. And I guess this Darren Rovell person either hates Barstool or hates crypto or something, and he's tagging the enforcement agency over a hacked account. This guy's an absolute fish. Alex Becker with your bull post of the day. The biggest alt season bull run in history. Note this. In past bull alt seasons were fueled by money coming out of Bitcoin into alts. Eventually, enough would pull out of BTC, triggering a pullback, and the alt season would end. At the moment, the money we see piling into Bitcoin via ETFs not only doesn't intend to sell, but also can't roll into alts. What does this mean? Me thinks, me has a hunch, me feels it in my jellies that, a little strange, okay, for the first time ever, we can have an alt season where Bitcoin is not brought down. AKA the alt season can just keep going and going and going and going without Bitcoin spoiling the party as it always does. This is pretty much like a party where the sun does not come back up. There is no 2 a.m. last call. If my hunch is true, this could get completely out of hand and allow degeneracy in alts like we have never seen before. Of course, top alts like AVAX, Sol, etc., but alts in gaming and AI, you should be wearing a diaper at all times. The excitement could be too much. And have you ever tried to talk with family, friends, coworkers, and just mention crypto? I feel like there is still a stigma around it where you'll have some people that say, okay, I get it. Some people say, nope, don't bring that up at all. And then another group that's like, oh, maybe like I'll dabble into this. This seems like something, right? And I feel the vast majority still just don't pay attention at all. They see Bitcoin in the news. They don't care. Look at this. We're here for like 12 people right now streaming. And if you're watching on the VOD, hello. Appreciate the hell out of you guys, right? But think of all the other people out there that are doing these streams. How big is this industry? How many people are actually paying attention? We say, oh, this is the top. Oh, there's nobody playing our certain games. And sure, not everything's going to have a success, but there's definitely going to be different components of the ecosystems that do. And Bitcoin, ETH, and some of these others really feel like that. Okay, the wars are on your timeline. You need to think with a thinking cap at all times. Budfan.eth saying, well, looks like Magic Eden was a huge flop. If you don't know, Magic Eden is a NFT marketplace that just partnered with like pretty much all of the top Ethereum NFT collections to enforce royalties. Why wait over 2 weeks to reward users an airdrop? Not only that, every collection I see the floor price is not correct on the main page. I'll stick with Blur. Okay, so Magic Eden's doing an airdrop that's coming up of these diamonds. You can't claim these diamonds. However, there is this whales market that you can now start trading points preemptively. And now everybody's basing speculation off of that. I feel like that's going to go super poorly. We'll kind of see. But at the same time, let's put on our thinking cap for a second. Is this person just hating that experience, or are they somebody that's really heavily into Blur and Blast and they are wanting to, try to say, hey, make sure that you're continuing to use that marketplace because that's where my focus is. Yes.
The power just went out and turned on, so I don't know if you lost.
Oh, yo, are we still here? The power went off and turned back on, apparently. Where? In the kitchen?
The fucking boxes are...
Amanda! Did you just hear that? Oh my God, we're going to get banned now.
The oven turned off and turned back on.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we might end up losing power here, guys. So we'll see. Apparently, we're supposed to get like a flash freeze in Canada. Yo, trader, hell yeah, brother. I think even worse, a total negative connotation. All scams, and you are an idiot if you are in crypto. Yo, true, very true. Yeah, you're the best, Buffalo. True. Okay, so we have that negativity towards Magic Eden and kind of pushing towards the Blur and Blast. Okay, and so we're going to reemphasize here again. This is another bias here towards the Blur and Blast, but it's an interesting concept. Let's argue with it for a second. Metaverse Goliath. In one day, we will forget what it was like to transact on Ethereum. That's okay. With crazy gas. When Blast L2 opens, meme coins and ETH NFTs will never be the same. Final day of transacting with high gas, 2/28/24. Okay, so number one, everybody's been reminded that ETH gas just doesn't work. You can't do anything. The L2s of some sort need to take over because there's just way too much stuff being built within the Ethereum ecosystem that one of these is going to work, right? Because right now you have Polygon, you have Arbitrum, you have Optim. There's all these freaking different things. And the big case with them is, there is a game that's attached to it. Maybe it's good. The liquidity's there. And if Blast, which seeming to have captured a huge part of the Ethereum market, and like the NFT collectors, right, that have a lot of capital, it could really shake things up. And I agree, Buffalo. This is a bold statement, but interesting to see if we do see more things kind of go over to Blast, if they're able to reward more. But my concern with this, I suppose, is when you look at the big bang winners for like Blur's competition where they're giving out all the developer funds for Blast. Like it's all like DeFi protocols and whatnot. Like there's nothing beyond that. Maybe that's all you need. But I feel like people are going to want more experiences unless just this is only going to be for DeFi. Now, here's something for Bored Ape holders. DeFi and NFT communities are stronger together. We're excited to be onboarding Bored Ape Yacht Club to Blast. Particle Trade, Hyperlock, Fi, and Juice Finance and us have committed to distribute onboarding rewards to BAYC and MAYC holders. So we're slowly starting to see people give the recognition back to some of the collections that people believe have a lot of liquidity, right? When you think of people that have Bored Apes, you're probably like, okay, they have some extra capital. If they're able to mess around with our tools, if they like it, they're going to bring the funds. So here's a free airdrop for paying attention, essentially. And we're going to be seeing more and more of this. So when people say, oh, like it's crazy that there's like free money in like the crypto space, well, not really. Not really. People are building things and they want attention, and it's how it is. A lot of money in the world. A lot of money. Okay, in-betweeners, join us today at 2 p.m. for the inaugural town hall. We'll be diving into your questions from Discord and much more. This is the collection that Justin Bieber's friend used. Bieber had it as like his PFP for a little bit. Yeah, Amanda coming through on that tier 1 gifted for Mr. Destruct Pickle. I have no idea if he's here, but sir. Enjoy the sub, Amanda. Thank you. Last time we talked about it was at the end of 2023, where they randomly said that we are doing like a global lounge pass. So if you happen to fly and own this NFT, apparently it's utility. I don't know. We'll see if there's anything more to it. This is a crazy clip. Huge shout out to Robin Dubs. This guy finds absolute bangers. 6 months ago, Kevin Rose openly admitted to being a chronic startup CEO that quickly loses interest, making it someone else's problem. This clip is crazy because it's not wrong.
The excitement of the early days of just like figuring out the UI UX challenges, figuring out, how to track fast when you switch time zones because you flew to London, like weird things like that, where you just had to think through the little edge cases. Those are all gone.
Yeah.
And so that's like where I get really excited. I get that and once that happens, there are professional CEOs that are much better than I am to bring in and run to scale those businesses. So that's what I've done before.
One piece of parenting advice
Okay, guys, it was there the entire time. Guys, Segment is live. If you're wanting to check it out, you are able to mint an adventure NFT. This is one of the companies that's associated with Van Eck. They are doing a whole bunch of different things within the space, from security to having these NFTs. There is KYC involved, and when I checked on the Discord before I went live, they are still doing something for like the NFT claim itself. But if you are wanting to sign up, you might have seen some of the videos that I've done with them. It is segment.io, and we'll be highlighting that more once I'm able to mint that adventure, but I gotta do the KYC and other stuff. So we will do that off of stream. You might have seen as well on your timeline, Coinbase says users may see a zero balance in their crypto accounts. Coinbase says user assets are safe and not to worry. This is great. We got the exchanges breaking, Bitcoin's mooning, things are getting volatile and crazy, baby. Just in, Nigeria detains Binance executives following crypto exchange ban. Didn't we talk about Nigeria like yesterday or the day before about how they banned Binance? I mean, Canada did the same thing, but why are you detaining Binance executives? Like, is there something more here? This is going to be an interesting story. If this is all true, if there's something more to it, maybe there was just somebody that was like leaving because obviously they're getting out of the country. Maybe their job was just there while it was, and there was something that happened at like the airport, like they did something wrong. They mouthed off an attendant, right? Maybe this is a completely nothing burger, or maybe this is something to add some significance to the space. And speaking of significance, capital flowing. Oh my God. Winklevoss-led Gemini agrees to return over $1 billion to customers and deal with New York regulator that includes a $37 million fine. Okay, so Gemini is about to inject its customers with $1 billion on top of everything else that we're going on about in the space. And you're not bullish. That's crazy. 5 immediate takeaways from the Cool Cats Town Hall. Listen, I love these. We don't really listen to bigger spaces. What the hell is Cool Cats up to? There's a clear emphasis on re-engaging the community and activating them as a resource, from product development to ecosystem growth. Sapphire Town is going to be the central hub of the Cool Cats ecosystem, a place designed to support existing holders and onboard new Web3 community members. This is interesting because I feel like different collections are saying that they're wanting to onboard different communities and other communities, and we're seeing sometimes like bigger partnerships between things, but at the same time, we are actually seeing that with others, right? Like the Nifty Island thing, they're actually doing it. It's not just talking about it, and I love to see that. Buffalo, all earn users receive 100% of their digital assets back in kind. It means you will receive any and all appreciation of your assets since you lent them into the earn program. Sheesh, that's crazy. All right, so that's a mooner, right? That's officially a mooner, right, Buffalo? Hell yeah, bro. Content is king. Cool Cats is going to start pushing out even more high-quality content like the Milk Jug, specifically on YouTube. Games soon to be debuted at official GDC, happening March 18th to 22nd. They are thinking about the future and the past, from tying up loose ends and streaming the ecosystem to finding ways to return value to its holders. All right, cool. That is your update. Okay. I've talked a lot today, the other days, but I think one of the notions that I don't see anybody else talking about really is the fact that we are seeing esports have complete shambles. Like just the weirdest stuff that's going on, and now we're really seeing it ramp up across the gaming studios. It first hit the esports side of things, and now it's affecting the studios. I really think the blockchain integration of everything is disrupting the industry massively. There's a lot of games that are having unbelievable amounts of funds put into them from the Web 2 side of things that end up being a flop and a complete waste. Within Web 3, these people are able to do it, and then if the game is like kind of a success for a little bit or not even a success, they still don't have as much capital at risk. I really think the paradigm shift is happening. So EA's laying off around 670 employees. This is after Riot just did their huge layoff and a whole bunch of others. We are also sunsetting games and moving away from development of future licensed IP that we do not believe will be successful in our changing industry. This greater focus allows us to drive creativity, accelerate innovation, and double down on our biggest opportunities, including our owned IP, sports, and massive online communities. Then there's a little bit of a breakdown here. Their own IPs are actual garbage, though. We'll get the third Star Wars Jedi game, the Dead Space 2 remake, and possibly a complete overhaul of the mess that was Dead Space 3. Personally, I'd love to see a new SSX game. Remember SSX Tricky? At an Xbox way back in the day. And it was one of the snowboarding games, and I remember very much enjoying that. And Star Wars Battlefront, apparently some of the original variations are coming out for that. But we'll see. Is this actually something that's going to disrupt the industry? Are we just, are we just yapping and we're completely wrong? I don't know, bro. I don't know. But that's going to do it for this edition of XFeed. Kind of a quicker one today. I was going through the timeline trying to find things, and Bitcoin was roaring, and there was 105 tweets about people being bullish on Bitcoin. But I think we're already kind of, past that point of going over the the basics of feeling bullish for things. But again, this Bitcoin is starting to move a little bit. How much do we see it kind of roar? Is it going to continue going up, 4 or 5% a day? We did on one of the X feeds prior to, they were like, Bitcoin has to go up like at least $1,000 a day minimum based off these ETF flows, the halvening that's coming up in a couple of weeks. Like, yeesh. Things are going crazy. You might be called crazy for being here, but don't worry. I love you. You're great. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow as always. If you're enjoying the streams and you're not subscribed, please do so. But otherwise, enjoy your day, and I will again see you tomorrow. Peace.